I'm Ree from mummyof4.com. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am sharing exactly what you need to be taking with you when you are going swimming with your children or taking your children to swimming lessons to make sure that the whole thing runs smoothly. Plus my top tips for minimizing stress when it comes to taking your children swimming, because trust me, I know it can be potentially a rather stressful experience. Before we dive into the tips, I just want to welcome you if you are new and invite you to subscribe and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss any organisation videos, vlogs, shop with me's, hauls, speed cleans, that kind of thing. So the first thing you're going to need is an actual swimming bag. We've tried various different ways, but the one we're using at the moment is this bag, which actually, by the looks of it, came free with some sort of perfume. I will link some similar bags down below, but this bag is just one large compartment, and I've chosen to put all of the swimming stuff for my 3 children that currently go to swim lessons in one bag, and that way I just have to carry that one bag. You can have separate swim bags for each individual swimmer, and if you are going swimming with other members of your family, if you're going into a male and a female swimming changing room, you will have to have separate bags for that. So just consider how you're going to be going swimming and whether you'll be changing all together or separately to decide how many bags you need to take. Now, one top tip I will say is, as we come back from swimming, I wash everything and pack it directly back into the swimming bag so it's ready to go for the following week, rather than giving each swimming costume to each individual family member and then scooping it all back up and repacking the bag for the swimming lesson. Everything just goes straight from the tumble dryer back into the bag and it's done, it's ready to go. The next thing you're going to need to pack are swimming costumes for whoever will be going into the water. While there are lots of swimming costumes that are very pretty, there are lots of like princessy ones with lots of trims and arm bits and all sorts, I'd really suggest just keeping it reasonably simple. So if the children are doing swimming lessons, they need to make sure that there's nothing getting in the way of their arms, and really if there are lots of extra strings and fussy bits, it's just going to make changing more complicated. I also saw a graphic which talked about the colour of swimming costumes you choose for your children and how easily those colours can be seen at the bottom of a swimming pool, which is a really graphic, awful thing to think about. But if a lifeguard is looking to see if there are any drowning children, and obviously like the bluier coloured swimming costumes are not as easy to spot as a more contrasting colour that is not blue when a child is in distress and is under the water. So that is something worth considering while you are buying swimming costumes for your children. Just think about colour and how easily you'll be able to see it if the worst happens and they are under the water and need rescuing. The next thing you may need to pack if you've got young children that are not yet potty trained are swim nappies. Now, I thoroughly recommend reusable swim nappies because obviously you just chuck them in the wash and you can use them again. The reusable swim nappies don't absorb any of the wet stuff, but they do catch the number 2s if they happen to slip out in the water. You can actually use the wraps from a nappy as a swim nappy if you are using cloth nappies. I have got a whole series all about cloth nappies that I filmed back when my daughter was in cloth nappies. We are beyond that stage now, but I did do cloth nappies from when my second son turned 1 right up until my 4th child went out of nappies and was toilet trained. So we did cloth nappies for a really long time, and swim nappies that were reusable were obviously the easy choice for us. But even if you're not doing cloth nappies, reusable swim nappies are fantastic. The next thing you're going to need to pack will be a onesie. Now, I like to roll them up like this because they fit into the swimming bag. Now, there are 2 different ways that I've used the onesie system depending on where you're going to be before the swimming lesson. So pre-pandemic, I used to pick my children up from school and their swimming lesson was so close to the time where they finished school that we had to go straight from school to the swimming lesson. So what I used to do is just roll up their pants only into this onesie, and then they would get changed into their swimming costume in the swimming changing rooms, and then when they got out of the water they would literally put on everything in this bundle, which would just be their pants and their onesies, and I would take them home, feed them dinner, and then shower them and change them at home. And I found that the slickest and easiest system when we were going from school straight to swimming lessons. However, if you were traveling from the house, you can make it even easier than that. Make sure they've been for a wee before you leave, and then just put their swimming costumes on them directly and put the onesie over the top, and then if it is summer, you can just put flip-flops or sandals on their feet. The only thing then you need to take with them to change into when they get out of the water would be their underwear, which they can then put on with that same onesie over the top. And that is just such an easy system. So in that case, which is what I'm doing at the moment, when the bathers come out of the wash, I would put their bathers into a little bundle, and then when they come home from school, they go to the toilet, they have a little drink, and then they are given the bundle with their onesie and their swimming costume in it, and they put that on, we get in the car and we go swimming. That is the simplest way that I have found. Now we've got two types of onesie. We've got the sort of traditional long sleeved, long legged, fluffy onesie for cooler weather. And then I've got these summer, more like play suit onesies that I bought in the Shop Disney haul over on my Disney channel. I actually bought these for when we go on our Disney Magic at Sea cruise this summer, which will be really exciting, but they've been using them in the warmer weather to go swimming in this country too. So have you used onesies to take your children swimming before, or is that something you think might work for you? Let me know down in the comments. The next thing you want to think about, and I touched on this briefly, would be easy footwear. So in the nice weather, the best thing you can do is avoid socks altogether and just have some sort of easy to put on flip-flop or sandal that they can manage themselves. Because the whole name of the game with swimming is to minimize the amount of stuff that you are having to take in and out of the changing rooms. Because actually, when they were going from school and taking off all their school kit and things, it was a bit of a nightmare to scoop it all up while they're in the water. So just using sandals, not bothering with socks, obviously is the easiest. If your children are having to go in the winter, then obviously they might need socks, but I would just stick with socks and something they can slip on their feet like wellies, or even better, if you've got something like an Ugg boot that is fluffy and they don't even need socks for that, then you're onto a winner. Obviously, you're going to need to pack underwear if you are traveling to the pool in your swimwear, so you've got underwear to put on when you get out of the water. And I do pack underwear directly into the swimming bag the day of swimming, the day that I wash all the rest of the swimming kit, so I know it's ready there for the next week. You might want to pack a wet bag for going swimming. Now this is actually a wet and dry bag that I used to use when the children had cloth nappies, but honestly they've got so many really great uses anyway. So in this particular bag there's a section for dry things that are not yet damp, and then this main section is for keeping the wet stuff from leaking all over the rest of your bag. So you can put your wet stuff directly into one of these, it won't contaminate the rest of your bag, or failing that, wrap up your damp bathers and things within all of the towels, so that the towels are absorbing the wetness and it's not seeping into the bag itself. Which brings me to the next thing you're going to need, towels. I pack these nice beach towels for the children. They are reasonably thin, so easy to fit into the bag. I like to fold them up like that so that they are nice and easy to slot in. The other option, of course, is you can use the hooded towels, but to be honest, they are not as easy or as large to dry a child in. They're nice to put over your child if you've got enough space in the bag, in addition to one of these big towels, but if you're only going to take one, I would take the big towel because it's easier to wrap them up and dry them in those towels. But if in addition to that you want to take a poncho towel, then by all means add one of those to your bag. You could choose to take hair towels for wet hair. This is something I'll probably do a lot more in the winter when the children's hair is wet and it's really, really cold and yucky outside. I used to, years ago, wash the children's hair at the swimming pool. To be honest, this is quite a stressful experience. Swimming pool showers where we were going were not very nice, and it was just lots of tears. And it is easier to shower at home, but at the time my mindset was, well, we're already here now, let's just get it done so we can go home and relax. But now, obviously, especially since COVID, then I've been bringing them home and showering them after dinner. So if you are going to shower at the pool, you're going to need toiletries, hairbrushes, and potentially those hair towels as well. The other thing that you're going to need is something to tie your hair back with. Now, I actually just make sure that I plait the girls' hair on swimming days, and they leave those plaits in from school, so their hair is already done, ready to go swimming. I leave it wet and plaited until we get home to shower them. But obviously if you are taking their hair down or having to do the hair at the pool, make sure that hair ties and hairbrushes are included in your kit. If your children are going to swimming lessons, they may want goggles. I bought these again in a Shop Disney haul. And these I had pre-pandemic for swimming. I think they were from Amazon. I will link those below. But often children perform a lot better in swimming lessons with goggles, but do check with your child's swim school, because some swim schools are all pro goggles and some are anti goggles, with the argument being if they fell into the water they wouldn't be wearing goggles. So check with your child's swimming teacher before you make a purchase. Next items I suggest you include would be a pack of tissues, just in case your little ones have got runny noses when coming out of the pool with a change of temperature, and also some wet wipes to mop up any spills that you may have. Although I love cheeky wipes and use those cloth reusable wipes in the house for hands and faces, while we're out and about now I use wet wipes so infrequently that I have actually picked up a few of these packs on Amazon. They were quite cheap and they go in my handbag. And then the other thing you're going to need wherever you go now, of course, is hand sanitizer. So make sure you've left one of those in the swimming bag, because, you know, swimming changing rooms cannot be the cleanest of places at the best of times. If where you're swimming there are lockers, make sure you've got appropriate change for those lockers or tokens or whatever it might be. You can phone ahead to where you are going to see what you'll require. And then I'd suggest taking a drink and a snack for your children when they come out of the pool, because chances are they will be starving, as my children always seem to be when they come out of the water. So those are my top things I suggest you pack in your swimming bag. How many of those do you pack in yours? And are there any extra bits that you always like to pack? Anything I have missed out from this video, let me know below. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and turn on bell notifications when I upload new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. There are more videos all around for you to choose from. Pick one and I'll see you guys over there. Bye!